Today I'm going to be eating out for the first time in Argentina and trying my first proper Argentinian steak.
¿A uno?
Sí,
¿Adentro o afuera gustaría?
es posible.
¿Afuera? Sí. Puede ser cualquiera de estas dos mesitas.
Este es bueno.
Muy bien, adelante.
Gracias.
De nada.
I'm here at Alto el Fuego, supposedly one of the best steak restaurants in Bariloche, and I'm hoping to try the bife de chorizo, which is the sirloin steak here. Quite famous, along with the ribeye, but I think I'm going to go for the sirloin tonight. And I've been seated outside, which is quite nice, because it's nice weather here at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't get too chilly. And this is my view, some nice greenery around here, and this is quite renowned for wine as well. I'm not much of a drinker, and apparently the wine is quite expensive here, so I'm just going to go for the Argentinian steak. So the Wi-Fi doesn't work on the piece of paper, for me at least, which means I can't access the menu, but I know what I'm going to have anyway. So, and she did just come over and say I was allowed half a portion. Solo bife de chorizo,
Sí,
media,
media porción.
pero
Muy bien.
solo este.
Perfecto. ¿A qué punto gustaría ese bife de chorizo? Medium, medium rare.
Rare, ¿es posible?
Sí, medium rare. Perfecto. ¿Para beber?
Pero,
¿Hay drinks?
I'm actually okay for a drink,
Okay,
thank you.
perfect.
Muchas gracias.
Okay.
This place fills up very quickly. I turned up 5 minutes before the opening time and I got let in already. There's probably only around 6 or 7 people here at the moment, but apparently the queues start to fill after 8 o'clock prime time, and that's why I've come here early. So far the service has been very good, except for obviously the Wi-Fi not working, but been very attentive, and she speaks a bit of English as well, which helps, porque mi español no es muy bueno. So I'm going to go and look for the bathroom now, or the restroom, which is my mother's way of finding out how good a restaurant really is. Sanitario. Muchas gracias. Gracias.
De nada.
Okay, so this is the bathroom, a nice vinyl on the wall. Pretty decent condition. There's enough toilet roll to go around here. And there was a little wine cellar outside, which I'll have a look at in a minute once I've actually used the restroom. Looks like there's a nice exclusive dining area down here. And they have provided with a little introduction, free of charge, I believe, the beans dish as the starter here. It's quite nice. Some raw carrots in here, some onion, and quite a bit of oily liquid. The onion has been sweated off, it's not fully cooked. And this here is some kind of dip for this bread. This is really quite a nice starter for me because I like an acidic starter. It's almost got a hint of sauerkraut about it. Obviously there's no cabbage in there. And this one here is very oily. Very, very oily. It's quite bitter. I think it's olive oil in there. It's got quite a bitter taste just to the oil itself. And there's separately chilies in there to use the bread. It's quite nice to mix in with the beans dish as well. The free starter is done now, just awaiting the main course. I think they've also got the supplier of the wine here behind me, or one of them at least. Just thought I'd show you this restaurant where I'm sitting. Here it is, the steak has been served up. Let's give it a taste. The steak has arrived, it's nice and thick and juicy. It was just as I was taking a sort of selfie with the restaurant in the background. Bit of fat on the outside, nice crust. Give it a taste. Really juicy, really juicy. juicy. Beautiful crust on the outside. And you've got that sort of charred taste. Just taken a bit with a bit of fat this time. Wow, that fat is melt in the mouth stuff.
Are okay?
Yeah, perfecto. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
I just took a pure piece of fat from this tip of the sirloin, just there. And it's, I mean, I hardly had to bite it before it melted. I like the fact that it comes on a wooden board, almost dripping here. The fat looks like it's been cooked perfectly. To show you a bit of the fat from the top of the sirloin. You can taste the char grill from the parrilla, that's what they call it here, where they grill the meat. Cooked how I wanted it, rare in the middle. If I was to give one criticism, they may have actually overdone it on the salt slightly. For me, I quite like a lot of salt, but for a restaurant I wouldn't expect this much salt on steak. There's also no salt and pepper on the table, so maybe they think their seasoning is so perfect that nobody will want any more. This piece of fat here. I mean, the fat, the cap on the sirloin is one of the best I've ever had. Maybe the best. It's so melt in the mouth. It's not easy to cook off the fat on the sirloin. It helps when you've got a thick piece of fat on the top of the sirloin rather than a thin piece, and they do have a thick piece here, but nevertheless, they've cooked that fat to perfection. I'm going to give this steak a 9 out of 10. It is almost perfect. Almost. Like I said, the only thing is probably a hint too much salt. It's a really thick steak as well, just to show you, pressed against my fork. It's probably as thick as a 6-pronged fork. I tell a lie, they do have salt on the table here, in this box. They don't have any pepper. I don't know if pepper's a thing in Argentina, maybe not, but I definitely haven't added any more salt to this steak. I met a man in French Guyana around 3 weeks ago to a month, and he said Bariloche was the place where it was the best steaks that he's ever eaten. And based on this one, I agree with what he's saying. And there's definitely, I'd say, 250 grams of steak. Yeah, no messing around. On the menu they're selling 500 grams for 35,000, which is around 30 British pounds. I asked for half, so I've got 250 grams. It's really thick. None of this lean minute steak nonsense. And I presume I'm going to pay half price. The only other criticism I have of the restaurant is that they don't have proper cloth napkins. These are just paper ones. I've saved the best bit till last. The cap of fat with some meat next to it. This place in the centre is turn up and find a place, but they've also got another restaurant at the bus station area where you have to reserve. Look at that. Some people getting told to wait now, and it's just gone. It's around 7:45. Okay, so it was 17,500. That is without the service included. I think they've written on the suggested amount as 19,250, $16 US. So I'm going to give them a 20,000 or two 10,000 notes. Ventes,
Gracias.
bueno. Gracias.
A ti.
Buenas noches. So I'm just leaving the Alto el Fuego now. This is what the restaurant looks like. It's tucked away on a little side street. It's actually not the easiest to find. So this is the main road down there, and you have to come up some sort of conspicuous steps. When I came up, there was some guy drinking a can of alcohol there. See if he's still there now. Just down here, you come up from the main road. No, he's not there anymore. He was sat in this corner. Yeah, if anyone's looking to find Alto el Fuego. It's opposite the Farmacia Iberia, up these steps here, and then up there. But overall, that was a very good experience as a solo traveller. I wasn't sort of rushed out of there. There was a small queue of people when I left. I think it gets busier later in the night. I spent about an hour there. They were very accommodating to me, and I've just turned up in. I didn't realise my hiking trousers for today were really dirty. So you can see that stain. You see that stain? See that stain there? Yeah. So I'm not in the best, and I've got this crappy shirt on as well. But yeah, they were fine, and I think even if I turned up in shorts and a shirt, they would have been okay with it. They seemed quite unassuming there for quite a posh restaurant. Now, 20,000, just to sum it up, is £15 roughly, which is almost a sort of night of accommodation somewhere. But I had to have an Argentinian steak while I was here. But that was not the end of the story, because 6 hours later I woke up with severe toilet troubles. Was it the rareness of the steak? Was it the wooden chopping board? Next time I'd go for a medium steak, given its thickness.